You shiver sometimes, even indoors, when a sudden draft hits you. You might pull a blanket tighter, turn up the thermostat, or just wish for summer. It's a primal reaction to the cold, an echo of a time when a dip in temperature meant true peril. But the real answer to how humanity survived the coldest period in its history is far stranger than just finding a warmer spot. It wasn't simply about huddling in a cave, it was about something fundamental shifting within us, a leap in our capacity to adapt that turned a death sentence into a proving ground. You see, your ancestors faced a world that would be utterly unrecognizable to you today. The last ice age, the late Pleistocene, wasn't just a bit chillier. It was an epoch of relentless, crushing cold, where vast sheets of ice covered continents and temperatures plummeted for thousands of years. Imagine standing where New York City is today, looking out at a mile-high wall of ice. Picture mammoth, woolly rhinoceros, and giant ground sloths roaming across windswept, treeless tundras. How did your fragile, relatively hairless human ancestors, without modern technology, manage to not just survive but thrive in such a brutal environment? Was it pure luck, or was it something else entirely? The first answer that comes to mind for surviving the cold is obvious: fire. You probably take fire for granted, but for ancient humans, controlling fire was a revolutionary technology. It offered warmth, protection from predators, and allowed for the cooking of tough foods, making them more digestible and nutritious. This simple ability transformed their lives. It extended the day, allowing for more activity, and created a social hub. But fire alone wasn't enough. You can only huddle so close to a flame. Your ancestors needed protection for their entire bodies all the time. This is where tailored clothing entered the scene. Early humans weren't just throwing animal hides over themselves like blankets. They were meticulously cutting and sewing them. Archaeologist Olga Soffer, for instance, has unearthed evidence at sites like Kostenki in Russia, showing bone needles and awls from 30,000 years ago. These aren't crude tools. These are instruments for creating fitted garments, likely with multiple layers, insulated linings, and closures that would have been essential for surviving sub-zero temperatures. Think of it: bespoke fashion, tens of thousands of years before Milan or Paris. Beyond clothing, your ancestors needed shelter more substantial than a simple rock overhang. They became masterful architects of necessity. In environments where trees were scarce, they used whatever was available: mammoth bones. Sites like Mezhyrich in Ukraine reveal sophisticated dwellings constructed from dozens of mammoth skulls, mandibles, and femurs, carefully arranged to form circular or oval huts. These structures were then likely covered with hides and insulated with sod or earth, creating surprisingly warm and durable homes. It wasn't just a place to sleep. It was a complex feat of engineering and community effort. The ability to hunt large, dangerous animals also became paramount. Mega herbivores like mammoths and woolly rhinoceros weren't just a source of meat. They provided vast quantities of calorie-dense fat, which was crucial for surviving cold environments. They also supplied hides for clothing and shelter, and bones for tools and construction. This kind of hunting required incredible coordination, planning, and specialized tools like spears and atlatls, which allowed hunters to propel spears with greater force and accuracy. The risk was immense, but the reward was survival. John F. Hoffecker, a prominent researcher in high-latitude peopling, emphasizes the cognitive and technological innovations required for this level of survival. It wasn't just about strength, it was about intelligence. You needed to understand animal behavior, track patterns, and develop complex strategies. This forced your brain to work in new ways, pushing the boundaries of planning and abstract thought. Could this period of intense pressure have sculpted the very way your brain works today? But here's the unexpected twist. Individual prowess, while important, was secondary to cooperation. You couldn't take down a mammoth alone. You couldn't build a mammoth-bone house by yourself. Survival in the Ice Age depended on highly cooperative social structures. Resources were pooled, knowledge was shared, and the sick or injured were cared for. Groups likely grew larger and more interconnected. This wasn't just altruism, it was a cold, hard strategy for survival. Think about modern hunter-gatherer societies, like the Hadza of Tanzania, studied extensively by anthropologists like Rebecca Bleachbird and Douglas Bird. While they don't face Ice Age conditions, their strategies for sharing resources, especially high-risk, high-reward foods, offer a glimpse into the ancient past. A large kill might be shared widely, not just with immediate family, but with the entire camp. This ensures that even if one hunter fails, no one starves. It smooths out the inevitable fluctuations of hunter-gatherer life. This system of reciprocal altruism and broad sharing would have been even more critical during the lean times of the Ice Age. This social intelligence, the ability to form strong, cohesive groups that could share knowledge, labor, and resources, was arguably humanity's most potent weapon against the ice. It allowed for the transmission of complex skills from one generation to the next, fostering continuous innovation. It allowed for collective memory of successful hunting grounds or safe shelters. It was the original social network, and it ensured your ancestors didn't freeze out of existence. Your ability to feel empathy, to cooperate with strangers, to create complex social rules, these are not recent developments. They are ancient echoes of a time when the very survival of your lineage depended on them. The Ice Age didn't just test human endurance, it forged human connection. It didn't just teach us how to build fires, it taught us how to build societies. So, the next time you feel a chill, remember that the warmth you seek, the comfort of your home, and even your complex social world are all built upon the incredible ingenuity and cooperation of your ancestors who faced a world far colder than you can imagine, and didn't just survive, but triumphed. Like and subscribe to uncover more hidden histories.